Hey, it's the KYG and the Y2K. It's the KYG Y2K cast. Okay. I don't know. I feel less prepared than ever. I'm Jesse Dram. With me is my host, as always, Joe Garifo. How you doing, buddy?
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Doing good. So it's funny. The first time we've gotten ahead of our schedule has been these last few weeks, meaning this is the first thing you and I have recorded since that weird group of My Chemical Romance fan teenagers made us fucking trend on Twitter.
Yes, it is. This is the first time back. What has changed in your life since that day, Jesse?
A lot of people I feel I've grown up as a person, spiritually and physically, because I have a weight problem. I can't especially contribute it to the MCR teenagers, but here we are. I don't know.
Nice.
How about you? How did you feel affected? Is this your first time trending?
On Twitter like that, yes. But for something so ridiculous was pretty funny. I had a good time with it for
Oh
like the
yeah.
4 hours it was going on. That was fun.
So for the listeners who weren't keeping up with these shenanigans, obviously we had the girl on with the shoplifting and we talked about Gen Z. What we didn't expect was the reaction to the episode. Episode got like 500 downloads the first day. Like kids were really excited about it. But it turns out that these kids were very excited by the dynamic me and Joey had, enough so that they began to ship us, which
Yes,
is what Gen Zers do when, I don't know, they want us to be in a relationship. I don't know. But
apparently.
yeah,
Uh,
but the hashtag I stand with Jossie was trending from these kids going buck wild.
every time I go to say My Chemical Romance, I start to say Motion City Soundtrack, and I'm like totally different bands. Love both of them.
I
Totally
think you're
different.
the only person that has that problem.
Probably. I just always go to. Full confession. I listen to Motion City Soundtrack way more than I ever listened to My Chemical Romance. So like it was, and they're both. Never mind. It has
Yeah,
nothing to do with anything.
it's funny.
But My Chemical Romance is playing in Philly on when is it? August 23rd. We should just show up in the parking lot as
Oh yeah.
Jossie, whatever.
Well, I thought I was joking in the Twitter thread. I posted a picture of Homer Simpson bowling as like, this is me next week trying to keep this going. Like, did anybody mention a perfect game?
Homer, or Grandpa, that happened a year and a half ago. That was from the different episode.
Yeah.
What did
The
Homer bowl a perfect game? Yes. Um,
I also like that the kids also made some photoshops. They made a Valentine card. Will you be the Joey to my Jesse? I added fuel to the fire by putting up old photos of me and you from back in the day.
and then there's a bunch of like photoshopped fake merchandise, like tote bags and hats with our
I
faces on.
I would have loved to have seen some fan and some fan illustrations, some manga. Where's the Jossie manga? That's what I want to know. But yeah,
You know what's
we
funny is they used my face on an album for the band Famous Last Words. And someone out there did do a fan art thing of my picture like years and years ago, which is kind of funny.
actually
I still
didn't.
have no idea who did that or
What is the name of the album?
Famous Last Words, Council of the Dead, I believe is the title of it. And the song specifically that they used for me is you can see if you go to YouTube,
Oh
it's on.
wait, I see it. Yeah, it's actually Council of the Dead.
Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, why do they have a picture of you here?
I don't have a physical copy of the album, so I have no idea if that's inside the album or not. But it was promotional stuff of like people that had passed away. I don't know. I'm supposed to be someone in that photo. I'm supposed to be someone that died of a drug overdose, I believe.
I gotcha. I actually found it. Let's do a very quick.
I actually really like this song.
Yeah,
Um,
there you are.
yeah, that was how many years ago was that now? Whenever this album came out, I don't remember.
I got what was coming to me.
Oh shit,
I convinced my best friend to rob our dealer. Told
I
him
don't remember
more
this.
street cred. And all I really wanted was my fix.
that's your
They
voice.
hunted him down.
Yeah, I truly don't remember recording this at all.
Sure was enough to stop my heart from beating, though. Oh well, it's what I deserved.
That was way neater than I anticipated it being. Cool.
I truly don't remember. I don't think I've ever seen that or heard that. Maybe I remember recording the audio, but I definitely never heard it put to the image before. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I,
And over the past week, or yesterday, when was it? Friday? What's today? Tuesday. We're recording this on a Tuesday. So on Sunday, I spent the whole day on a movie set with Lloyd Kaufman, which was kind of fun. The president of Troma Films. It was interesting. That was a fun experience. The movie set was like loose, fun kind of place, and we were there from 6 to midnight, and in a comic book store. And
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good old Uncle Lloyd. I think before every episode, we need to have like a this week in nostalgia thing, because I think that's what you went to. But man, you want to talk about something that really kicked me in the nostalgia this week? The South Park 25th anniversary concert live at Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I have not followed South Park much in recent years. I'll still catch it every now and again. Personally, this latest issue of the streaming wars is just like, Trey, Matt, why the fuck do I care about your distribution deal? Stop. Give me something different. But yeah, man, that concert was really cool. They had Primus and Ween there, and fucking Rush showed up. I had me and my cousin Mike Tolino used to write songs when we were kids. He did most of the writing, but he wrote this one song about our cousin Frank called He's Frank. You know Frank.
I do know Frank.
And the chorus was not the chorus, the breakdown was a parody of What Would Brian Boitano Do from the South Park movie, where it's, I've never seen a man eat so many chicken wings. I've never seen a man eat so many chicken wings. So when I saw they performed that, I immediately sent the clip to my cousin Mike. Like, I bet you didn't expect to, in the year of our Lord 2022, expect to hear I've never seen a man eat so many chicken wings performed live for the first time ever. But yeah, I had a lot of feelings that came with that.
Is that on, like, is that full concert available to watch yet?
They released it on it's obviously an edited version, but they released it on Comedy Central. Actually, if you jump in, our sponsor this week is Sling TV. It's not, but they have a deal going for another 4 days. For 4 days, you can watch it free, and you can watch the on-demand South Park 25th anniversary concert.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Dean Bahar was there.
That's right. Yeah, our friend gonna be on the show one of these days. But yeah, I was actually really glad. I was really glad following that saga on social media, where it seemed like he wasn't going to go at first. He didn't really, seem like his thing. And then he capitulated. He went, and he seemed to have had a great time.
Yeah,
he's really loved in that fan base.
I know, and that's why, because I had conversations with him and about his relationship with those guys, and so it was really cool to see those posts and that he went to the show and everything, and that apparently Trey gave him a nice shout out as well, which was nice. Yeah, it is weird when you hear of like beefs with people that you grew up.
Yeah,
and they don't really talk that much anymore.
Yeah. And hey, some people just grow apart. It's just it's trickier when you grow apart from somebody you did work with, and also they went on to be insane successes in everything they touched. You know,
yeah.
Not to say anything against the talents of our friend Dean Bahar.
Right. Not at all. He was always my favorite. Anyway, in everything they have ever done, he was my favorite. So it's not like I'm sitting here like. I love Squeak is my favorite part of basketball, and Chota Boy is and even in Cannibal the Musical, like he's great in all three of those things. And then everything else I've seen him into, he's a very talented guy.
See, that's why I really want to get him on the show, because just to show the stroke of Matt and Trey at the time, you can't really. I know on the poster it was Matt, Trey, and Jenny McCarthy. Dean Bahar was the third lead in that film.
Oh, 100%. He should have been on the poster.
Yeah, and it is crazy for a major Hollywood release for them to be like hire our friend as the third. Although they flat out say in the commentary of Cannibal the Musical for our Trauma crossover and the two things we were talking about here, straight up saying like Dean is the only one of us that can actually act.
I remember that. And actually, Lloyd Kaufman on the set of the movie on Sunday was talking about Cannibal the Musical, and I was like, Dean Bahar is like a friend of mine, and he did a voice in my newest claymation, and he was like, oh, we'll send Dean my love. So I texted Dean a picture of me and Lloyd, and I said, Lloyd sends you his love, but I didn't get a response, so I don't know. I'm always iffy on those things, so I really have no idea what kind of relationship he has with Lloyd or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I didn't hear anything back, so he could have also been completely busy. So like I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not. I just
it could have been just that. Not to mention that whole 25th anniversary thing was like only happened last week.
Yeah.
Like for all you know, he might have gotten some attention off of that. Got some things in the fire.
Although I did talk to him about doing playing Bob again in an upcoming thing. So the character he did a voice of in my claymation. So he seemed like he was down for it. So hopefully that happens. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And there's a baby on screen now. Jesse's feeding his child.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep her off camera because I don't necessarily want her on the internet yet.
Well, but, I understand.
But and you know why I don't want her on the internet, Joey? Predators. Because you never know the predators out there and what they may do. You know, come to think of it.
And that is the perfect segue into today's episode, Jesse. We're talking about Predator.
Oh, Joey's holding up the VHSs for 1 and 2. We need to start recording this in person with like an actual camera because you have all these fucking goodies.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh yeah, we would have to do it here because I don't want to bring all this stuff to your house all the time.
We would do it there, absolutely. But yeah, we're talking the film franchise Predator. We're not going to go into detail anything, but I mean, with some of them. But we're going to talk about the original. We're going to talk about Predator 2 and how hilariously fucking racist it is. We're going to talk about Alien versus Predator. We're going to skim Alien versus Predator 2. And we're gonna what are the other ones? Isn't it like I hate when
Predators.
Predator. I hate when they get to that level of the name.
Me too. I just use the numbers.
You know who is the biggest sinner in that regard?
Who?
Fast and Furious. The Fast and the Furious. Mm-hmm. Fast 5.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious, Too Legit to Quit.
I think I've only seen the first, second. I've only seen like the first and second of the Fast and Furious, and I don't remember them. Like that was years ago when those movies came out, so I truly don't know.
Ooh, that might be worth doing an episode on. I've never watched any of those hunk of shits, but which, by the way, we do have our own nostalgic story though.
Of what?
When Paul Walker died.
That's like an insight. I don't think anyone else will find that funny. I guess. I mean, because it's once again, this is not like, oh my God, this is Paul Walker died and that was funny. That's not what the
No. Let me tell the story real quick. Me, Joey, a few of our friends are all hanging out. One of them is searching Twitter and sees on Twitter like, holy shit, it says Paul Walker just died. And Paul Walker started the franchise. We were trying to get confirmation, trying to figure it out because he was like a young guy, and it seemed to be a pretty gruesome death that they were talking about. So, and obviously, sadly, that is the truth of what happened. But while we're searching for confirmation on this, we're looking around the news, our phones. We turn on the local news.
Yeah, the local news, and it says breaking news, and we're like, oh my God, this must be it.
It was like breaking news. Sad news.
The world's ugliest dog has died. that was that, and we were like, what? And then it was just like, and it showed a picture of the dog, and it was like he was however many years old, and the world's ugliest dog had died. Yeah. And then like
he survived by Vin Diesel.
It was like what? And then I think like it came across on the bottom in like a blurb. Like we were like, they really? I was like, they broke in to announce that, but Paul Walker got I guess they probably didn't know if it was 100% official yet or not, but because it was like no one was talking about it. Literally, the only way we knew that anything had happened was our friend said something.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this also happened at like 8:00 on a Sunday night. So like going by West Coast time when it happened, it was only 5 out there.
Baby's cranky. All right.
Yeah, Joey, why don't you take the lead on this one?
Well, I don't know. Okay. Predator 1. Here's the VHS of it.
Read the back.
Well, okay. Hold on one second. This was a former Blockbuster rental tape, as you can see by these stickers. And I think that's why it's in this case, because like this is the CBS Fox video version of it, but it's like the box is cut up and put into this.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I always thought that was such a weird method, but I guess that made it harder to steal, better branding.
Can't get the beginning here. All right, read in the back. Here we go. A creature from another world, and this time Schwarzenegger is its prey. Arnold Schwarzenegger stars in this action-packed adventure story of fighting men pitted against an unseen enemy, a force more powerful than their fire-cast weapons. Recruited by the CIA to rescue hostages held by guerrilla fighters in Central American country, Schwarzenegger and his men encounter an enemy, unimaginably more deadly than any on Earth, because the Predator is not of this Earth. Packed with spectacular special effects and combat scenes of gut-wrenching power, Predator is the most terrifying and most exciting Schwarzenegger movie yet. 107 minutes.
All right. So, star-studded cast here. Very interesting. I find it funny that the casting of Carl Weathers almost certainly has to do with the forever feud between Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Oh, by the way, I was just talking to my nephew the other day, and I mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he immediately said, "You said a bad word."
Really?
Yeah, he didn't understand the. I mean, hey, good looking out. That's a bad word you want to call out if you hear it,
right?
But I had to explain it like, no, it's spelled.
Unfortunately, that is just how you say his name. Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Predator was a good movie.
But yeah, so yeah, we have a cast. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have Carl Weathers, which, by the way, that famous meme that you keep seeing on Facebook of like a black arm and a white arm doing like the fucking power handshake. I had never realized that was from this movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an illustration of that scene, but like it's a black arm, it's a white arm. Both the shirt colors are the same. And I think they also, dude.
Well, no, Schwarzenegger has like a red shirt on, and Carl Weathers has a white shirt on.
Yeah, and in the illustrated meme of that arm thing, the shirt colors are the same.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, never mind.
And it's funny, they do that power handshake and then like try to grip each other's hands and break each other's hands, which, man, I've hung out with some broy fucking dudes before, and it's always retarded when they do that. But they definitely.
Jesse, do not use that word, Jesse.
Look, I'm not thinking clearly. My child is shitting in my lap, and I'm curious if the microphone is picking it up.
The definitely picked up the slur you just used. Not swell, you know what I mean.
That's not a slur.
Well, in a way,
they don't all slur their words, Joseph. Come on.
Oh, come on, Jess. God damn it.
Speaking of Jess, you know who else is in this movie? My namesake, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jesse Ventura, yeah. And Shane Black, writer of Lethal Weapon, and
By the way, didn't they keep this tradition up? It isn't in one of the remakes. Isn't there somebody who's predominantly a writer who appeared in one of that movie? I'm making this up. I don't know. I really thought I had that memory.
Shane Black wrote or had something to do with.
Can you hear my child shitting her pants here?
I don't know, but I can hear it. Can you hear my dog whining in my ear right now?
No.
What do you need, Zoe? Oh my God. Hi, baby. Lay down. Come on. Well, the cat's right here. I think she's trying to pass the cat and is scared too because sometimes he jumps up and then. Come on, Zoe. Come on. Can you hear her licking? Because she's right next to the microphone.
I really can.
Come on. Really?
No. So, fun fact, originally Jean-Claude Van Damme was to be playing the monster in a very different very different arrangement of the suit. Let's see if I can mute this real quick.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know what happened. I think they like started shooting with this and then they realized they didn't really like the design. But the hilarious thing, so you can see how dumb this outfit looks. This is very specifically for the Kodachrome, the chroma key for the cloaking device thing. Like the background is green, so the suit itself needs to be red so that they can like digitally edit it out and put in that effect. However, Jean-Claude Van Damme just thought this was the character, that like this was the role, like this was the Predator.
That suit is actually, there's like an Easter egg in the movie The Predator. Like on Halloween, someone's wearing that version of the Predator suit in the background.
Oh wait, in what? What was that in?
In The Predator.
Oh,
yeah, you could probably find the clip. I should have told you this earlier and had it ready, but yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I just
The Predator. The thing about it
looks like fucking it looks like jacked up Zoidberg. I love this.
I can't do it. But yeah, that suit is in The Predator, which is ridiculous, but I kind of loved it and how ridiculous it is. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the, but I thought it was very entertaining. But just for how dumb it was, like it was like that dumb. I feel like if it wasn't a Predator movie, people would have liked it a lot more because it would have been like that dumb monster movie. It just was with a franchise that people care about. So you're like, I don't know. That's just my take on that. But back to Predator 1. Yeah. How long was he on the movie before he quit or was fired?
I think it was only a few weeks, and I think it wasn't just him. I think they also realized they needed like a redesign, and so they just stopped all of production. Here, hold on. Let me pull up got the wiki here as far as production. So, following the release of Rocky IV, a joke circulated in Hollywood that since Rocky had run out of earthly opponents, he would have to fight an alien in the fifth film. Screenwriters used the joke as an inspiration and wrote a screenplay around it, which is really cool. It was based around the idea of what it is to be hunted, concerned a band of alien hunters. So I specifically mentioned that Schwarzenegger might have requested the casting of Carl Weathers. He had a pretty one-sided feud with Sylvester Stallone in the 80s for like, who's going to be the biggest swinging dick action star. But what I wasn't aware of was the lengths Schwarzenegger went to go with this. Are you aware of the Sylvester Stallone Estelle Getty film Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Yes. I think I heard what you're about to say, but continue.
The rumor is that film was only made because Schwarzenegger read it, thought it was horrible, and basically told his agents, like, start spreading around that I'm going to do this film. Let's see if we can get Sly to do it instead. And that's like exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Predator. I mean, what else can we say about it that hasn't been said a billion times by everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, well, we learned some of the things about the Predator themselves, the fact that they are, aliens. They're specifically. What are the circumstances in this that the Predator ends up there? Are they like being set up by the government, or is like the Predator just happens to be there?
He just happens to be there. That's what I thought was cool. Like, that's what's cool about it, is because if they don't show the opening shot of the spaceship, then you wouldn't know that there was like a monster chasing them until he shows up. Like, you wouldn't know what was going on. Yeah, the Predator just showed up, just happened to be there, and
which is funny. I feel like all the future ones, it's some kind of setup, and they don't just like show up.
No, there's only one future one, which is we'll get to Predator 2, which is why is it set in 1997?
Oh yeah, because that's like 4 years in the future.
Yeah, like what was that about? They had like these thumbprints and stuff, and like these weird things, the detectors of some kind.
Yeah, like why would?
But like all this technology that wasn't there. Why? But why in the future? But so short, like only a few years in the future. Why? I don't know. Yeah, Predator 2 though.
Oh wait, hold on. But before we go on, I just
one.
Well, no. Before we move on to that, I just have some of the best quotes of Predator that will be repeated in every fucking movie after this. We have "What the hell are you?" I was not aware it was in this. Get to the Chopper is from Predator.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I'm pretty unfamiliar with the Predator franchise. I just never really watched it as much. Although, funnily enough, there was a terrible metal band called Austrian Death Machine that it was literally just an Arnold Schwarzenegger themed metal band. And yeah, they had a song called Get to the Choppa, which is pretty cool. If it bleeds, we can kill it. That was in every single one of them. Ain't got time to bleed. That was said from Jesse the Body. I'm surprised it's not in here.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. There's also You're One Ugly Motherfucker.
Well, a lot of those, remember those old soundboards?
Yes.
Where you could prank call people and make it sound like I'm Detective John Kimball. that was all these quotes were on that soundboard. Detective John Kimball. John Kimball. Babies, they ruin everything.
Yeah, they really do. Okay. Predator 2.
Predator 2. All right, I'll read the back of the
well, actually, no, hold on. Let's we need to talk a little bit more about the Predator himself. So, they are a race of hunters.
Yes.
They have their own philosophy. They only want to hunt that which can hunt them in return. That's why they're going after, these big military guys wearing, they have their own armor, the facial armor, which I feel like most of the movie, we don't even realize that that's armor until they remove the mask.
Mm-hmm.
We see the mandibles underneath, which are fucking gnarly.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a crab.
Mm-hmm. We also have the heat vision. I'll be honest, I actually had not realized that the heat vision, I thought the heat vision was like part of their hunting apparatus, where it seems like that is their actual vision. Like that's just how they see the world.
Oh wait, no, I think it's like if they, I know I just watched it and I can't even remember. I'm like, is it the helmet?
I don't think it's the helmet. I think they
that's
just
all
see that.
When they took it off, that his head, like it was just like all bluish, like everything just kind of looked one color.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I truly don't remember, and I just watched it. This is bad. This is bad.
This also shows one of their real weaknesses when Arnold jumps into the river and gets coated in mud. The Predator can't see him because he is, coated. His heat is being covered up, as it were.
Yes.
One thing I will say about this movie is obviously the time we're living right now. There's a lot of talk about guns in America and society and culture. And man, is this a big old dick sucking gun of a movie? Like I feel, and it's going to come even more into terms with the next movie, Predator 2. But like, yeah, I really feel like this is a lot of like that 80s, like this is where that good guy with a gun bullshit comes from. I know people want to pretend like if somebody breaks into my home, I'll be a good guy with a gun. I think they're also preparing for the Predator. Like that's what they're imagining they're going to need their AR-15 for.
Jesse Ventura has a Gatling gun thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the movies at this time were just like this. But really, the first half is like a kind of parody of Commando. Did you ever see Commando? I mean, it's like that. Even with the one-liners, like "stick around," like all that.
Well, that's also just action movies at the time.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. All of those movies at that time were 100% full of all the weapons. Yeah.
Just big old gun dicks blasting away all the bad people. So to take that into Predator 2, this one was mind-boggling. It really feels like they were trying to make a gritty cop film and a Predator movie at the same time.
Let me read the back. It says, the Predator's back, and this time it's hunting in Los Angeles. It comes from a distant world to hunt people for sport, invisible and armed with powerful weapons unlike anything we know. It stalks its human quarry mercilessly, leaving mangled corpses in its wake. Last time, it landed in the jungle. This time, it's chosen Los Angeles. Ravaged by open warfare between rival drug gangs, LA is the perfect killing ground for the Predator, who is drawn by heat and conflict. When the police find mutilated bodies, Lieutenant Mike Harrington
or Harrigan, sorry. I keep thinking Steve Harrington from, sorry. Anyway, thinks it's the work of feuding gangs. Then a mysterious government agent, Gary Busey, arrives and orders him to stay off the case. Instead, Harrigan sets out to learn what's really going on and comes face to face with savage aliens in the climactic, electrifying confrontation, co-starring Ruben Blades, and featuring superb special effects. Predator 2 is a suspenseful action thriller. 105 minutes.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I believe a lot of the special effects on the first two movies were done by Stan Winston, who, if I'm correct, wasn't Stan Winston American Werewolf in London?
Yes.
Jamie, can you check that out?
Jamie, bring it up, Jamie. Who's Jamie?
See, you don't even watch Joe Rogan, and you know that.
I know. I've watched the only Joe Rogan episodes that I have watched are the alien ones, because that's all I'm interested in.
So yeah, Edward
the
says
Bob Lazar one and the
oh shit. Stan Winston created the Wookiee costumes for the 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, he worked a lot with James Cameron, the Terminator, so not American Werewolf.
Now I need to know who did American Werewolf, because I feel like
oh wait, I think that was Baker.
Yeah,
I don't know. But anyway, the thing with Predator 2 is, again, just how fucking racist it is right off the bat.
Definitely Rick Baker,
right? Yeah. So this is right around the time where we have, the rise. We're at the peak of the crack epidemic. We're not too. This is either shortly before or shortly after the Rodney King riots. This is the era that Hillary Clinton took a lot of heat for, and Bill Clinton. The time of the so-called super predator, where the fear was that with the drugs on the streets and the structure happening in poor urban communities, that we were a generation that was coming up that was just going to be lawless and killing everybody. And then crime rates fell for 25 years straight afterwards. A lot of the theory on that is around the time we were aware of the dangers of lead paint and lead gasoline, which one of the main symptoms of like lead poisoning is like a breakdown of like a filtering of like, your frontal cortex, the thing that gives you inhibition, the thing that makes you think, maybe I shouldn't stab this guy and go to jail for the rest of my life. But that's why this movie fucks me up so much, where it's just like, there's a lot of that fear in it. It's like, America, I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid of blacks and Mexicans, and they're going to shoot each other up in a gun war. One of the Mexican guys shooting like this, by the way, with two hands. Like, I don't know. It cracked me up. I noticed him every fucking time he did it. But don't worry, we're going to show them what a real predator looks like. So as much as people are excited to see a predator, they are also getting all. When this movie came out, this was meant for middle America to be like, yeah, predator, kill those people that are making me afraid. Blacks and Mexicans.
This says, and I don't know what this means, right underneath directed by Stephen Hopkins, it says read the joke book. Like in the tiniest, the tiniest font ever. It's right here. It's read the joke book. I don't know what that means.
Look it up. Can you pull it up real quick? Here, how do you spell? Is it with a V or a PH?
What?
Stephen Tompkins.
No. I mean, it's not part of the. It's not part of that. I just mean underneath that on the box, it says read the joke book
on Predator 2.
Color by Deluxe. Like, it says right here, like original soundtrack, album, Dolby Surround, Color by Deluxe, and then read the joke book.
So weird. I'm looking it up. I'm not even seeing anything on that.
Yeah. Is there a joke book for Predator 2? That'd be weird. There is apparently there is behind the scenes footage of all the Predators dancing from Predator 2 at the end.
Can we pull that up, please?
You should be able to. I can't share the screen. You can.
Okay. All right. We're almost up our allotted first chunk time. I think I need to wait to record the second half of this until this is. I'm glad I tried this. This ain't working.
All right. We can this is half an episode today. We might be right back. You'll either
we can give me if you can give me like literally a half hour. I just gotta wait till Perry comes back from her walk.
That should work.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right, I'll see you in a half.
And now
for you people, it'll be instantaneous.
For you people, it'll be instant. Will I remember to edit this out? That's the real question. We'll
Probably
find out.
There's nothing edited on anything.
No. All right. I'll see you in a bit, buddy. Sorry about this.
Bye.
We're back and we're recording. Use condoms, kids. Use condoms, even if you want children. My God, that was exhausting. I'm very sorry. We did that as an experiment. We will not do that again. So
I also apologize. I had my allergies are killing me, so I took Benadryl, and I just feel like I'm going to pass out. So, hi, Zoe. I know Zoe's back.
Oh, Zoe.
I know.
I could see you with
talking. She's like, "Who are you talking to?" And it has to get in my face. Hi, baby. I love you. Yes, lay down. Another baby.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 12.
Yeah.
Lay down. Come on. Go ahead. You could go ahead. Come on. Oh. Anyway, Predator 2.
Yeah, if you need any bigger sign of the time, Predator 2 comes out in 1990, and nothing screams 1990 than Gary Busey and Danny fucking Glover.
I love Danny Glover, and I like it. I always thought this movie felt like Lethal Weapon with Predator.
Yeah.
Minus Riggs, but yeah, that's why I always kind of like this movie, because of Danny Glover. It is ridiculous and goofy, but
yeah. I do love that Bill Paxton is in it too, meaning he was in not only the sequel to Predator but also the sequel to Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
They should have,
and he's in Terminator.
Is he in Terminator 1?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does he kill them in the beginning? So he gets killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien.
So those are three huge sci-fi franchises. Bill Paxton appears in all three of them in the 80s. They really tried to shoehorn him into something else. I really would have liked to have seen him in like Empire Strikes Back, when like they opened the door in Cloud City and Vader's there, just for Bill Paxton to be like, "Game over, man, game over."
He's in the beginning. Well, Terminator steals his clothes.
They have basically the same physique. That makes sense.
Yeah, very very small part in the beginning of that, and then very big part in Aliens.
Yeah.
I was always more of an Alien fan franchise over really the first two movies of Alien and Aliens, but over Predator. But I did like both.
Yeah, same. I liked more, and this is the thing I feel like really gets lost in the sequels, but comes back up in Prey, is that once you get into Predator 2 and then Alien versus Predator and the remakes, it's like all the horror aspect of it is gone, and it's just an action movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Predator 2. Where's it at? Here it is. Predator 2. That's the back. It's the back.
By the way, it also says the main Predator was designed to look more, again, this is so fucked up in context. For Predator 2, the main Predator was designed to look more urban and hip than its predecessor. Design,
what does that mean?
Design changes include tribal ornamentation on the forehead, which was made steeper and shallower, brighter skin coloration, and a greater number of fangs. So they also pointed out that he was less reliant on his plasma caster and more on the use of nets, spears, and bladed weaponry.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, nostalgia-wise, I guess I saw this more than the first one growing up, just because it was on more when I guess it was on TV more. I don't know, but this one I just saw more.
Yeah, Predator 2 seemed like it was always on something. It was like a cheap, local. It's so weird to think that with like the streaming era that we have right now, that like TBS still pays big money to like air The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Like you forget there's people that still have cable and watch movies on cable.
My favorite part of Predator 2 is when he crashes into the the lady's apartment.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's my favorite part of the movie. I love goofy shit like that.
Well, if you love goofy shit, oh, go ahead.
Okay, was that a segue into Alien versus Predator?
Yeah, oh, yeah. So yeah,
that movie. First off, okay, predators are attracted to heat, right? They see like heat signatures and stuff. That's why they were in the jungle because it was very hot, and that's why they were in Los Angeles in '97 because it was very hot. So why were they in Antarctica? Like, why? It's like I assume that their pyramid was built back when it was hot there, I guess. But why do they still
Here's the thing.
there?
I don't know if it was ever hot. Like we're talking like the entire planet as a bowl of rotten molten lava. Like that's the only time it was hot. I heard that line. By the way, can I just say, and I don't think this is a racial thing. I do think they genuinely look alike. Up until literally today, when I watched all of Alien vs. Predator for the first time, I thought the star was the girl from Scary Movie.
No.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was her this whole time.
No, I believe she's in Blade.
Yes, she plays his mother, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Alien vs. Predator, I was so excited for. I went to see it. I think I have the ticket stub somewhere, but I'm not going to go look right now because I'm too tired. I saw it with Walt Marziani. Shout out, Walt. And I remember it's the second it ended, Walt leaned right over to me and went, "Well, that sucked."
It does. And you know what? They try to approach it with some logic where the predator is the ultimate predator. It wants to all these hunting things are a part of their culture of like a rite of passage.
We should mention that the alien skull is on the wall in Predator 2 at the end of the movie.
So, I missed that, but it makes sense. So the idea.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, there's a predator. There's an alien skull on the wall.
So the idea is the alien would be the ultimate prey / predator that would also fight back. The predators used Earth forever and ever to breed, because obviously the aliens have a 2-stage life cycle between the face hugger and then the chest burster that grows out into the full version. So the thing is, the predators came to Earth. They bred the aliens here, obviously, to incorporate. It was working like Aztec rituals with the chest bursters. And then they'd come every now and again and they'd have these big fucking war orgies, which honestly look pretty cool. That shot of the 3 predators fighting on top of a pyramid and fighting just a swarm of aliens only to nuke the whole fucking thing. By the way, the only thing with Predator 2, they introduced the concept of they hunt in threes. Why was the original one just a lone predator?
I don't know. And the same with Prey. So I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, Alien vs. Predator is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who famously was the director of Mortal Kombat, and then the entire.
Which I do like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, fuck everyone. The first Mortal Kombat. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do because I want to get away from doing only movies, and Mortal Kombat, we obviously have a wider swath of media to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I love that movie, but the 90s one, the one that he directed, even though it's, in retrospect, it could have been rated R and way more violent, but I dig it. I do dig that.
That's the marketing of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing that bothers me so much about Alien versus Predator is how I don't need the fucking Predator but the Predator, it becomes like a buddy movie.
Yeah, I know. It reminded me of Batman and Robin at the end of the movie when they're running in like slow motion with the explosion behind them, and they're like silhouetted. Yeah, Alien vs. Predator. I was really excited for, and even being, I think I was either a junior. What year did that come out? 2004?
2004.
I was a senior in high school, and I remember I shared Walt's sentiments mainly because it was like so toned down from what it could have been.
This was a popcorn movie. All the horror has been removed from it. It's been like all the horror is gone, but they kept a little bit of the gore.
Lance Henriksen's supposed to be the guy that the Weyland-Yutani company is based on, or Bishop has been modeled after or something.
Right. So yeah, in the film Aliens and in subsequent films, the cyborg, because there's always got to be one, is played by Lance Henriksen, who surprisingly still alive. I 100% thought was dead.
No, he was just at Monster Mania this past weekend.
But anyway, yeah, he appears in this film, which the producers insisted they add him as some kind of continuity between the films.
But wasn't the guy in Alien 3, wasn't that the guy Bishop was modeled after? Or was that just another android? Because I know you probably have. Well, I mean, I guess we could do an Alien episode later, but that always confused me because, like, is this the guy that Bishop's modeled after, or is
I assume this had to be the guy that was modeled after,
right? But is that just a big plot hole? Because in Alien 3, the Lance Henriksen shows up as supposedly as the guy Bishop's modeled after to try to get Ripley to not kill herself.
Maybe that was his ancestor.
I
don't know, but anyway,
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
The film is remembered for this worst of all scenes. So the Predator and our protagonist, they're fighting a xenomorph here, and boy, are we gonna get a whole lot of wacky. Ugh, so fucking dumb. They shoehorn the "you're one ugly motherfucker" line.
But they censor it.
Yeah. And what happens here? The Predator and the protagonist. Yep.
That reminds me of Batman and Robin. Here we go.
There's a bomb going off, and they're riding a sled. Badass style, though, face first. The only cool way to ride a sled. I'm going to do that this winter all the time. I'm going to grow out some dreadlocks.
Well, technically, they're going uphill, so they're not.
They're going uphill?
Yeah. They're being pulled up by, like, a something.
Oh god, the explosion is propelling them. I hadn't even noticed that extra layer.
I don't know if there was a cable that's supposed to be pulling
they don't show the landing. They go from
here we go. Here. This shot. This is the Batman and Robin shot. Or the very end of Batman Forever, I guess. Where Batman and Robin running. This is what I'm talking about. But
yeah, dude, fuck this movie.
Oh, and then they just leave her in the middle of Antarctica with no coat and no way to get home, so she's dead.
After she made such a big deal all through the beginning chunk of the movie, none of these people are prepared to go into the fucking ice area, and then she goes anyway, and it's dumb. It's dumb. I didn't even look at the second Alien versus Predator. Did you?
Oh, okay. This one I like. It is terrible, but I love it in the sense that it's rated R and it's just violent and gory, and the aliens are loose in a suburb, which is pretty cool. The movie is terrible. The setting is neat, and there's a lot of neat little deaths in there. And,
oh shit! I hadn't even realized. You're right. Alien versus Predator was PG-13.
Yeah. The second one is literally follows exactly where the ending, like that alien predator hybrid bursts out of the alien or the predator's chest, and then that spaceship crashes into like a suburb. So now there's aliens loose in a suburb somewhere in America. And
that is the coolest part of the movie when we see a chick. Which, why did they allow that? I thought every predator like disintegrated himself to leave no trace. You would think that a predator infected with a xenomorph would be like an abomination.
And he would kill himself was probably what would happen. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. But they wanted an excuse to have a predator alien hybrid. That's all. Mm-hmm. And
they didn't have the balls to show the sex scene in a PG-13 film.
Well, in the second movie, that alien predator hybrid is really goofy looking. That looks. You could probably just bring up a picture of it. The alien or the pred alien from. And the guy that played one of the firefighters from Rescue Me is
Dennis Leary.
No. The guy that played Garrity. I haven't watched Rescue Me in many, many years. It's probably
I don't care for any.
Well, I never even finished it.
Especially this fucking thing. Ugh.
That is it. Oh no, down here. Go down. Scroll down. One more down. that thing, I think, is what it's supposed to be.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, I don't care for any of this.
Yeah, the movie is not good. One of the lines is, "People are dying. We need guns." It's just like,
Vote
with no
Republican.
context. Yeah, no, don't do that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the movie's not good, but it's a lot more fun than the first one, I think, just because of like the gore and the what I wanted from the first movie when they're like, "Oh, it's going to be on Earth," is what the second movie was, which was like, I wanted to see the aliens in like terrorizing people on the street.
Right.
That would be fun, and they did that in that movie. Other than that, I got nothing. I got nothing really good to say about it.
We then have the rebooted sequels. I think the first one,
Predators.
Yeah, helmed by Robert Rodriguez.
It's still a sequel. It's still in continuity, I believe, with the other two movies, because
it was marketed very much like a reboot. Like, they're back in the jungle. Yeah. There's no obvious, Arnold Schwarzenegger parallel. Although I remember the first time you and I watched this together.
I think they mention that, or is that in the Predator?
No. I just mean it felt like it was marketed as a reboot, yet there is no analogous character to Arnold. There's not like a big buff dude named Dutch there. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, instead it's Adrian Brody, who's a skinny buff guy.
I do remember Topher Grace of that '70s show fame is in this movie. And the first time you and I watched it together, we're 5 minutes in, and I immediately say, like, is he going to be the guy who like sells them out at some point?
He's the Paul Reiser of that movie, and you can tell from the very, very beginning. Walton Goggins is in it, who I like. He's great on Vice Principals. My favorite role of his. He's fantastic. Did you ever see Vice Principals on HBO?
No, I know him from Django and Hateful Eight.
Yeah. He's been in a shitload of stuff. I just mean, my favorite role of his is the character he plays on Vice Principals. That show is ridiculous. It's only 2 seasons done. You should check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. Him and Danny McBride, right?
Yeah. It's dark humor, but it's pretty damn funny, I thought. But yeah, I liked Predators. I remember the first time, it was a few years ago. I think I saw an article about like how bad that movie was, and I was like, "Oh, is that the collective consensus?" I always enjoyed it and assumed other people did as well.
I mean, me, I'm a pretty jaded guy. I thought it was good. I liked it.
It was fine, and I like it was this. It was just tweaked a little bit because now they're on a different planet. That was all.
Right. But, and I didn't even see the sequel to that one. Did you?
The Predator, yes. What I was saying earlier is, I feel like if this wasn't a Predator movie and like was made in the 80s, then people would love it, because it would have been like, I genuinely loved all the dumb characters that were in that movie. I thought they were very funny. Now, I know I'm probably in the minority here, but it was weird. It's like they took a comedic approach to the Predator and they made it a comedy. Like, that's literally, the Predator is like a comedy version of what like Keegan Michael Key's in it, Thomas Jane's in it. Like, they play these like guys that are they're arrested on a bus, like, and our main character's on this bus, and then they're all stuck now. Predators out there, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And they got all these wacky one-liners, but it's like way more than the other movies were. So I don't know what they were thinking. Like I said, it's not a good movie, but it was entertaining. I laughed.
See, that brings us to the present day. Yeah. Really, I don't think any of us saw this coming, but maybe the best actual movie in the franchise of all of them. Yeah. Prey, recently released. It's 1700s with the Comanche. Yeah, we have the Comanche as the hunted in this. We have Comanche and French colonists. Mm-hmm. So obviously right away, where, for one thing, one of the things I like about it, and again, this is looking at it with modern eyes, with the whole fucking gun fetishization, that the only guns in this are like old-fashioned fucking muskets, and they reload it as such. And I'm not going to go as far as to be like, I hate all depictions of guns in movies, but it really is like gun boner nonsense that's just really hard to watch with modern eyes and not notice. And in this, we get a lot more like it's insane. Nobody really thought of this before. Can you think of any other horror franchises that have like jumped to the past to show us some stuff, a different angle?
You cut out right before I couldn't hear what you said.
Can you think of any other horror franchises that have gone to the past other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time?
Hellraiser.
Ooh, where did they go? Well,
Bloodlines. Adam Scott's in that one. That's the last one I saw. I didn't watch anything past that. But yeah, that one is like 1700s, I think, something like that.
And I know they dipped their toe in when they got into the backstory of Pinhead and how he came to be. He was like an early 1900s
Ginger
traveler.
Snaps. Ginger Snaps did like a Salem or like a something that took place in the 1800s. I think. Once again, I didn't see that one. I saw the first two.
Yeah, somebody made the argument you could probably take that back a little bit. Like, the Child's Play Demon Spirit has probably been around for a while, unless no, it's all just that robber dude, right? Yeah. Brad Dourif.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there are more, but Hellraiser was the first one that came to mind.
Like, I think Halloween would have been a great one. There's a fan theory online that the force that compels Michael Myers is like an ancient Celtic god, where like the village would basically draw straws, and the one family became the sacrifice, and then this Celtic god would possess one member of the family who would kill off all the rest, and then the ritual would need to be repeated. So the only reason we have all these Halloweens is that Michael Myers never destroyed his bloodline, even though he did a few times, and we just retconned that. So yeah, the notion of dropping fucking Michael Myers into like medieval Scotland.
A lot of horror franchises went into the future.
Oh yeah, Jason in space.
Leprechaun went to space as well.
Also went in the hood.
Critters.
The Predator.
Well, Critters came
from space. Movies.
The Critters came from space, but I believe the fourth one's in the future.
How have we not had Texas Chainsaw in space yet?
I was like, have we? No, we haven't.
No.
Well, because how could you? It's in Texas. It's like, unless they blow Texas into space, and then you have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space.
Who said Texas can't be in space? God damn it. So yeah, I need to get the character names up, otherwise this is going to sound inappropriate because I didn't right now. So the stars Amber Midthunder. What a great fucking name! Just there.
Her name is really friggin' cool.
Yeah. Stars Naru, a young Comanche warrior. I'm sure there are the cynics out there who will say that this is the ultimate wokeness of like it's a strong, independent Comanche woman, but she really is, and
yeah, she is, and
yeah,
the movie's awesome. So what's the problem?
It fits into the classic trope of basically like Mulan, the woman who they have societal expectations of her that she's fighting against, even though
right.
Comanche women weren't exactly housewives.
I just think it's funny that the people that are bitching about it probably love Aliens, and it's like,
yeah, female protagonist.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, like legitimately, like how is it really different? Other than she's a Native American woman. Like I
do like that we see Naru grappling with the French colonizers a few times. Like they really did kind of accidentally insert some like judo MMA shit in here that wouldn't reach the continent for another 200 years. But I'll accept fucking Native American Ronda Rousey.
It was cool. I enjoyed the movie a lot.
I really enjoyed it. All right, tell me if you saw this. So the guy who plays the brother, Dakota Beavers, Tabe, he doesn't really look or sound like him, but the entire time I watched this, I got a big Bo Burnham feel off of him.
Really?
Yeah, he's like tall, skinny. He has a sort of I don't know, je ne sais quoi about him.
I didn't think of that. I mean, I don't see it, but okay. But Yeah, that I even got my mom to watch Prey. She's back from her trip now, so she's
Yeah, Mama Griffo.
yeah, she watched it. She was like, I liked it. It's different. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean, it was in a good way. But
yeah. So yeah, the whole idea is
it's the same movie, just different.
Yeah, the whole idea is Naru is a very skilled Comanche hunter. By the way, the Comanche, it's never stated exactly where this movie takes place, but the Comanche people live generally in like the Great Plains. So we're talking, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, into Saskatchewan, because obviously the border doesn't exist yet between Canada. Yeah, she's a very skilled hunter, but because she's a woman, she's not exactly respected for it. And of course, they're like, well, you're weaker than us. Or her brother, on the other hand, is the shit. He becomes the war chief by they have very much the same approach of the Predators themselves, where this is a coming of age rite of passage. And I think it's like a leopard or something he kills, and he returns to camp with the head. And that's when he's named the war chief, because he went down and hunted. He's proven himself as a hunter by taking down the apex predator of their area. But then it turns out there is a predator out there too that wants to fuck people up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plot. That's what happens. The dog is fantastic.
The dog is really cool. She has a dog buddy who will help her later in the film by handing off an axe. One of the things I love here is that when she gets kidnapped by the Frenchman, and the Frenchman use the Naru and Tabi as bait, and he comes in and just fucking butchers all the French guys. Naru allows him to kill the Frenchman. When he does, she shoots the Predator in the back of the head and steals his mask, and then sets up a Home Alone style booby trap, which there are some real Home Alone style booby traps in this franchise, which just set my brain on, hey, Predator, I'm hunting the white man and eating garbage. Better come and get me.
Oh man, when she falls into the quicksand.
Yes, quicksand is a running theme in this.
I thought that was going because the mud, you can't see the heat signatures. I thought they were going to incorporate that.
Oh, yeah, they never really use that.
No. It was like I guess everyone. I guess that was a purposeful fake out. Is what I think happened there, because I literally said out loud, "Oh, she's gonna the Predator's gonna walk by or something and not see her. She's gonna realize, oh, she's covered in mud or something like that." And then it didn't happen. I was like, "Oh." Then they didn't do that. Well, they did. How did she mask her? The flower, right?
What?
The flower or something lowered the body temperature.
Oh, something like that. I didn't catch that, but
yeah.
But yeah, the Predator kills her brother in battle. He fights valiantly though. They fuck this thing up. So yeah, they're at a point where she also yanks off in the final fight.
She yanks off
one of his men. She flicks off. Now she yanks off one of his mandibles and then stabs him with it. That was pretty gnarly. But then she gets illegal interference from her dog, which chases her with the axe that she had. So what she does is she garrots him, and he lands in the quicksand where she'd been stuck prior. He sinks, slowly forces his way out. He aims his laser weapon at her, but forgets that because she stole the mask, she has the mask set up nearby. So he sets up the shot, basically. It shoots, it triangulates, it ricochets, and kills him. And the film ends with Taru returning to the tribe, carrying the Predator's head, mirroring her brother's return with the great head that made him war chief. Her face is also stained with the Dayglow blood, which is really fucking cool. Her tribe would, and that's something throughout the movie, because the Predator does that in Alien versus Predator, where they will actually mark themselves with the alien acid blood as a sign of, as a status symbol.
The landline's ringing again. But Mom's not home to answer it, so it's gonna go for a minute. But she's at Gina's. My nephew is sick right now. Poor little bud.
What's he got?
I don't know. So it's something like ear infection or something.
Poor little guy.
I don't know. But right. Oh, and then the nod to Predator 2. which I don't know how it ties into Predator 2, but I guess something happens between then and Predator 2. Did you catch that?
No, it was not a Predator 2.
The musket that he has.
That's right.
At
Yes.
the end of Predator 2, the Predators give Danny Glover that because he killed the other Predator. And they're like, well, I guess that was their trophy to give him for winning the fight. I guess. And it was the same musket. So I guess they come back. Maybe there's going to be a sequel.
One thing I will say about this movie is I'm very glad that they did switch on and off between the non-native English speakers actually speaking English, because they could have definitely gone apocalypto.
Well, there is a whole dub of the movie in Comanche.
That's right, which is very cool.
But they had the actors audition in Comanche, but then they filmed the whole movie. I guess the original idea was to do it two different ways, but then but I wonder why didn't they just film it all in Comanche and do an English dub? But they did it reverse.
I read this before. It was a Native American tribe out on like the West Coast, where pretty much this was a language where like everybody had died off, that there were only 2 native speakers of this particular Native American language in the world. But the 2 people really didn't like each other. So like these linguists were like, please, can we just like record you guys talking for a while so we can preserve some of this language? And they're like, I'm not spending time with Jerry. Fuck that guy.
Wow. Is that a real story? Or
it's a real story. I don't know if there was ever resolution on it, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like Prey. I thought it was.
I liked it a lot.
Really
I thought it had great atmosphere. The action was great again because it was more hand to hand. Also, if we're also just looking at the layout of the land, I mean, we've had an urban environment, we've had obviously the jungle environment, but this is out on like the Great Plains. There's maybe a forest every now and again. Most of the things take place out in the great wide open.
There's a lot of woods in the movie, but
there's a lot of woods.
But yeah, the movie, all positive things. I don't really have anything. I liked it a lot, man. Yeah. It's a worthy sequel, prequel, whatever. It's a worthy entry to this franchise. It's probably the best. It's probably the best in the franchise.
I really hope that this will. I hope this will start a trend of like, let's take this back in time. Of like, yeah. I just think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree, Jess.
You know what I also agree on?
What?
I think we both need to take a nap.
Yeah, dude, I'm like falling asleep. I'm sorry. This must have been a boring one because I'm so lethargic right now and groggy. Just like,
yeah. We had a baby screaming all over part 1.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyway, you got anything to promote?
Gotta go take the dog out. Just my they're not on Trauma yet, but when they will be, I'll let you know.
Get the Trauma now. The day this comes out, I have a show at 12 Steps Down in Philadelphia. Starts at 8:30. Gonna be some great people there. Lemaire Lee, Jeff Roser, Steve Bickle, Gabby Loveland, Brooke Tomlinson. I feel bad for whoever I'm missing, but it's gonna be a great show.
Also, shout out to Bill for Bill Wenham. How do you say your name, Bill? I've never actually
Wenham?
said it out loud. Yeah. Who's been doing our little promotional videos?
I haven't used any of them yet. I'm gonna start putting them out this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, he just took it upon himself to do that. So thank you, sir. We appreciate it very much.
We salute you, Bill.
Yes.
All right, we're all gonna go take naps now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.